So I have a Meg. I have a partner in this Meg shit, right?
Gotcha.
Technically, the blueprint was given to them. Okay, that person came to me a long time ago and said, "Look, I need you. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I really, really need your help on this shit. Let's be partners." Said, "Okay." That got cleared up from the top, if you know what I'm saying. From the highest of the high, that got cleared.
Gotcha. That was all approved on their side. Yeah.
Exactly. To the point where, you know, I have the same access with the chip and everything like everybody else, right?
Okay.
So, it's all good. Except from the beginning, like, it was all fucked. Because he had people over in Fudge that were selling. And then I was trying to get people to be able to sell, right? But we were always competing with each other, and we were like, it wasn't right because nobody was talking to each other, and we weren't sticking around the same prices. So it was causing, it wasn't harmonious, to say the least, right? So,
my bad.
He is technically in Fudge, right?
Oh, he's in Fudge.
Technically, he joined like a while after we were given this opportunity.
Hmm?
Okay. Then he went on vacation for a week. I was handling stuff, but the war popped off. So I had to be careful with how I really did shit. Otherwise, I was going to get fucking ran up on during my mag deals. All of this shit, right? So I couldn't really do much work. So some orders got kept waiting, whatever. He wasn't mad about that, but the orders that got kept waiting were Fudge orders.
There's no way they cut him out.
Little did I know, his 2 pushes on Fudge were getting mags at cost to be able to flip on street, right?
Okay.
And he had a deal with them where they would get at cost SMG mags to be able to bundle with their SMGs to sell their SMGs. But what they were doing was they were getting every mag at cost and filling their fucking coffers with it. Now, I don't like that. I don't fuck with it. That's the same reason why I told Denzel he couldn't sell to fucking you guys, right? Same reason why me and DJ have had the relationship that we've had. So, he thought he was doing a deal for the SMG mags and having these people doing pushes, like pushing for him and stuff, but they were getting a shitload of mags for themselves. On top, as well as undercutting the market out there and fucking me over. So when he got back from his vacation, which was 2 days ago, me and him had a talk. And we agreed that since the market has hit rock bottom, this is a great chance for us to reset. Now, mind you, while he's sitting there, he's talking about how much he can't stand being in Fudge, how much he's annoyed by these people, all of this, and tells me, Brandon, let's do things the way that they were meant to be done from the beginning. Let's go 50-50 on everything. I'll handle the acquisition for the materials. I'll handle all the fucking cooking up the orders. I'll handle all that. You handle everything straight. You set the price. You make the moves on the street, setting up the customers. You get the fucking pushes that you want. I said, okay, let's do it. So we sat there, and he actually said, verbatim, no matter if I kick and scream, and I don't agree with something on the street side, you ultimately get the final say, and I'm forced to deal with it. I said, all right, fine. So then I said, well, what do you think about this? Right? I don't think Fudge or these pushes or anything like that. First of all, we fired all the pushes.
I can see where this is going.
No more. We're starting that fucking base. We're getting the right pushes. He said, okay, deal.
I reckon.
So what do you think about
Edgar has
we do
got involved and his ego's got in the way.
Fudge for the SMGs, where they get max at 3,500 for the SMGs. That way they can couple them with the SMGs and still turn a profit. He said, yeah, let's do it. I like it. Okay, cool, sound. We're all good. So then we have a meeting with his pushes from...
Nah, Edgar wasn't his partner, but he's the leader of FNF, isn't he?
Pip. Hassan couldn't make it, but we had a meeting with Pip. We give the rundown to Pip. We let him know, hey, everything's fucking tanked. There's nothing we can do about it.
I know who his partner is, but Brandon doesn't know that I know that.
Type shit. This is what we're doing with our prices. You guys will always have this $3,500 price for your SMG mags. Even when the market goes back up, you guys still have that price. Like, I understand doesn't seem like a good deal right now because Besties is selling at 2K, but that ain't going to last for forever. And if you don't want to buy the Besties, you can buy from us for this.
EJ told me, I think, or Denzel told me, one of the two.
He said, well, what about our existing orders that haven't been filled? I said, okay. What are they? And he said, actually, those 3 orders are for us personally. This motherfucker wanted hundreds of mags that he was going to get for them personally. Okay? And he wanted us to fill it at cost, which pissed me off. But I said, fuck it. I said, I'll fulfill all those orders at $3,500. And then the moment he heard that he wasn't getting it for fucking $2,300 or whatever, he's like, no, I think I already ordered it. So that was 2 days ago. Then, last night, I'll get blown up by Edgar. Hey, I need some mags. Hey, I need some mags. Hey, I need some mags. I was dealing with all the shit that we were dealing with, the meeting, fucking all of that shit.
Just to get clarity real quick, Edgar is he not FNF no more?
He's the leader of FNF.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. But he's blowing your phone up looking for these mags that no longer was going to be fulfilled.
He was looking for these mags that Pip said that, you know, never mind because they were getting that at a higher price.
Yeah, I'm following.
So he then calls me. Actually, during the meeting, he called me twice. I answered after the meeting. He said, hey, I need like 22 mags, like as fast as possible if you can hook me up. I said, all right, I got to run back to the spot. I'll take a look, whatever. So I go there and I'm out of SMG housings. But I had to deal with Flippy, right? Hydra. I had a 275 mag order that I was about to deliver, and Flippy was going to give me 62 SMG housings for some money off. So I said, perfect, I'll be able to fulfill that order too. Everything will be fine. Right? So I called him. I was like, hey, it's going to be just a little bit. You know, I'm waiting on some housings, all of this shit. We ended up meeting up and talking. Right?
Yeah.
He meets up with Pip. Well, he's got Pip with him. We meet up at the motel in Sandy. And by the tone of the conversation right away, I can already tell he's in one of them Edgar modes. Where he's in King Tut mode. Where can't nobody tell him shit. Where he's the all-seeing dick walking around the room. So I'm sitting here talking with him, and he's like, okay, so what's going on? Why am I hearing prices raised? Blah, 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 blah. I explained to him everything like I just said to you. I said, me and Wyatt talked. This was never the right shit, blah, blah, blah. He said, well, me and him had a deal for $2,300. I said, that's great and everything, except sometimes deals change. This is, you know, a weird situation. The market's completely leveled out. We're taking this as a reboot process.
I knew it'd be some Edgar thing.
And I was cool with all this. Like, I wasn't being a dick or saying it, like, out of pocket, nothing. And he said, well, he made the deal with me.
Yeah, it's my AC.
So who made the final call on the price? I said, we both agreed. And he's like, who made the final deal on the price, though? I said, well, I did, because I'm the one who sets the street price. But no one that Wyatt agreed, right? And then he said, oh, so it was you, huh? It was you, all of this shit. I said, yeah. So
even though it was a joint decision.
Exactly. He gets pissed that he's not getting mags at cost anymore, is what this is all over. He's mad because...
So he was reselling, right?
Yes, they were reselling. But not only that, so Pip and his son are in Fudge, right? They were pushers for Wyatt, right? They would get every mag, not just SMG mags. They were getting every mag at $2,300.
So the deal with Edgar was only SMGs, but they had everything.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. They were getting everything. And what they were doing is they were getting everything orders for $2,300 and filling up all their fucking shit with it instead of flipping it on the street.
So they were just funding their armory for cost.
Exactly. Exactly. And I even fucking said something to Pip about this in the first meeting. And Pip said, I said, brother, we can't do that fucking at cost price. I mean, you guys are getting all these fucking mags for this, and you guys are filling your own fucking shit with it. And then, you know, getting everything at base price. He's like, Yeah, I thought we were getting a really good deal. That's what this fucking jackass said. So he just straight admits it. So then, Edgar's in fucking one of those modes. He's going all crazy because he's not getting shit at cost. And he's like, fine, blah, blah, blah. Keep your mags. I said, look, I'm sorry we couldn't work out a deal, man. It is what it is. Maybe maybe sometime in the future. I take off walking away, go to my bike. He said something to me. He's like, well, why did Wyatt not speak up sooner or something like that? And I said, it's because Wyatt's a wet noodle. Because Wyatt is a wet noodle, and I've told Wyatt he's a wet noodle fucking 50, 60 times to his face, where, like, he says stuff to appease people in that moment instead of having a confrontation, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, it's not a good look calling you guy a wet noodle, blah, blah, blah. I said, brother, I've said this to his face. And I said, we're in the circle of, like, people who know him. I said, he will say things to appease you instead of having the confrontation and say what he really, truly means to say. But don't worry, because Wyatt's changing. Because Wyatt said that he was supposedly changing, and us become 50-50 partners in all of this. So then he says, Wyatt's a great businessman, blah, blah, blah. What the fuck do you know about business? All of this shit. And I said, to be quite honest with you, Edgar, your business is SMGs. My business is mags.
Denzel's around, by the way.
Why don't you worry about your business and stay the fuck out of mine? Right? He's the SMG plug. You don't need to worry about a fucking mag plug. Why? Because his boys and his fucking joined his crew has the fucking blueprint for it, right?
So he's now seeing my member with this. Therefore, I run the max.
Exactly.
I just want it to be known if Denzel shows up here, he's extremely strange.
Okay. And he tried to get his hands on top of that business several times with Wyatt. And Wyatt kept telling me, no. I can't allow it because of the higher power, right?
Also, Edgar is a very controlling person, right? He likes to have the reins.
100%. He's a dictator, 100%. So, this happens, right? They sit there. I say, you have your own business to do. Fucking mind yours. Stay the fuck out of mine type shit. And then I said, maybe, if you don't like shit right now, maybe go to the Besties. Maybe we can go down the road later, right? It is what it is. I don't care. But I do care when somebody's taking advantage of us and Wyatt. When we're standing there fucking crafting mags, they're getting the shit at fucking cost and running around and making fucking millions on it, as well as fucking filling up their fucking shit. Fuck all that. That shit ain't right. So then, Wyatt wakes up. He's immediately in a meeting because they try to call him. He hangs up.
But they're trying to get to him before you could, right?
100%. So then, Wyatt calls me up. He's like, what the fuck did you do? Blah, 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 blah. It's so bad. I'm like, all right, come to the spot. Because we have a secret location where we cook this shit. Nobody knows it. Just me and him. And the person's house that it is. Right? I bent over backwards to set up the secret location. Because he was worried about getting subpoenaed. He was worried about fucking Edgar finding it. He was worried about so-and-so finding it. All of this shit. So I fucking had to make some crazy calls to fucking make this happen. So he comes there. Mind you, this is my boy's house that I fucking pay $200K a fucking month for to stay there, right? He comes. We have a talk. He's being real sus. Real quiet. Clearing his throat a lot. Being real shifty.
Guarantee Edgar brainwashed him into cutting Brandon out.
Otherwise, they're going to kill me and you. I said, so you see what kind of people they are then, right? If they're telling you that they're going to kill you if you don't fucking whack me, they don't give a fuck about you. Like, if they cared about you, they would just clip me. Why the fuck are they telling you to clip me? And then I'm like, you going to do it? He's like, no, I'm not going to fucking do it. I said, all right. Then I asked him a few more times to gauge his response. See if he starts getting a little aggravated when I ask him. And he kept keeping the same demeanor. Up and down, his voice kept quivering, kept being fucking real snaky. So I knew something was up. So I take the first part of
This
the
is
order,
spicy, chat.
load it in the van. I said, look, I got to run this.
Be honest.
I'll be right back to grab the other stuff. After I'm done with this, we'll have a talk. He said, okay. I come back. Wyatt's standing looking out the window. I said, you sure everything's all good? They don't know where this spot is, nothing like that? He's like, no. Why would they? And I'm like, I'm just checking, man. He's like, oh, all right. I was like, I didn't know if you followed or something. He's like, no. I go, start loading up the van. I hear a car pulling up. I immediately start pulling out my shotgun. Shit is fucking forever to come out, though.
Wait, so they gave you the location to Edgar of the spot also. Was that the spot you were trying to keep secret where they pulled up?
Exactly.
So he outed the location and tried
Exactly.
to get you hit while you was about to transport a heavy amount of magazines.
100%, yeah.
Which would have meant they were robbing the Hydra as well, right?
This is Wyatt who's done this, right?
This is Wyatt who did this. Not only that, the day previous, he says all that shit to me while he's sitting to me alone on the couch in confidence, saying, fuck all of that shit. I hate the way that they're moving, blah, blah, blah. Me and you are 50-50. Whatever you say goes on the street. I'll go by any price you say. All of this. So when I'm in the meeting with Edgar, I'm talking like I'm in control of the fucking price of shit. Because I supposedly am. Right? Within a matter of him waking up, going and having a meeting with him, he completely snaked it all. God knows what he said to them. God knows if he fucking said, oh no, I told Brandon that we were 50-50. He was in charge of the streets, all of this. I don't know what the fuck he said. But he's avoiding getting killed from Edgar. Right? So he's going to say whatever the fuck he can say to keep his ass alive. So, I'm loading up the van. I hear a car pull up. I start pulling out my shotgun. I'm too late when the guy's already out of the car with a fucking gun pointed at me. He says, hands up. I point my shotgun when I can. He shoots me. They take me somewhere off in the fucking middle of fucking nowhere. Like 6 cars deep, fucking all of them standing there. Edgar fucking leaning against a car with a fucking helmet acting like the goddamn king. I'm laying there on the ground. They give a gun to Wyatt. And I'm sitting here talking shit to Edgar. I said, what? You can't even stand to look at your own face? Take your mask off, fucking king. You're walking around thinking you're the king all the time. You can't stand looking at yourself. Take your helmet off, big dog, big crime lord. Wouldn't fucking do it. Sat there, and they make fucking Wyatt shoot me while I'm down. And then they
get all of the they got the mags as well, yeah?
Here, hold on, I'm almost done. Almost done. So then EMS show up. Evidently, because I woke up in the hospital. EMS show up, cops are there asking me questions. I don't, obviously not responding to any of that shit. I think Denzel's here. Hold on.
Coincidence.
He don't work no more.
I was right.
Carry on.
You might have to move around, guys, so Denzel can see you.
Why have I been taken off the other house, by the way?
Denzel, I'm in the middle of
Get to the end of the story and then you can run it back. You have to explain this twice.
So I'm laid up in the hospital talking to the cops, whatever. Flippy shows up at the hospital because I already delivered the first quarter of the order, right?
Right.
He thinks I eject, whatever. He's trying to figure out what's going on. He thinks the Besties smoked me. I end up going back to that house that is technically mine from my boy, right? Start loading up the rest of the fucking mags for the order. You won't fucking believe it. They start pulling up again. But this time I hear the cars. I'm ready. They roll up in a van in some fucking black car. I point my shotgun at them. Say, get the fuck up out of here. Get the fuck up out of here. Right? They flip their car. I start getting in a fucking gunfight with these guys. One comes around the corner, lay his bitch ass out with a shotgun. The other comes around the corner, fucking smack him up a chest with a fucking shotgun. I get jumped on by a fucking Rottweiler. and get fucking ate up by a goddamn dog while I watch this guy fucking bleed out and fall on his fucking face. So I down fucking both of them while I'm getting fucking my ass chewed on by a goddamn Rottweiler. They then, while I have my pockets filled with magazines, Hassan comes, grabs me, throws me in the fucking middle of a desert, somewhere fucking, like, further on down the road. They don't rob me. They leave all the fucking mags on me. I get fucking picked up by the cops. Again, they don't GSR me, thankfully. Otherwise, I'm going to prison for fucking ever. All of this shit. I then get ran up on by Flippy again at the hospital. So this guy's having a fucking run around back and forth to the hospital. He wants all the tea. I then able to go back to the house. I tell Wyatt, stay the fuck out of the house. You're not allowed there. Blah, blah, blah. I'm finishing that fucking order. I'm a man of my word. If you ain't got shit in this world, like, if you don't have your word, you ain't got shit in this world. So I finished the fucking order for Flippy. Right? Give him a nice discount, too. Because he lost out on, like, fucking 40 mags or some shit that they stole out of the fucking van when they fucking shot me the first time. So that's where we stand now.
So
that's what one night was last night.
Where does that leave the partnership?
Oh, he took the blueprint, took everything, X'd me out completely.
Oh my fucking god. So Edgar basically brainwashed him into cutting you out of the entire operation, so now Edgar has 100% control over the Mag BP.
Technically, he doesn't have 100% control of the BP, but he can use
He has
his words to
100%
dictate it.
mental
100%.
control of that blueprint.
100%, yes. And I told Wyatt this before he decided to join fucking...
Yeah, I'm Edgar manipulating. I'm unsurprised.